Right,
Hassan Hussain versus Ben Williams.
Again, another amateur MMA fight being fought at 77 kilograms. Ben Williams fighting at Kaizen Academy. Hassan Hussain fighting at Blackburn Predators.
Both fighters making their debuts at this welterweight amateur MMA fight. Hassan Hussain from Blackburn Predators under head coach Rob Friedman. Making his debut tonight. His opponent Ben Williams will be fighting out Kaizen Academy.
I think this is one of the things I like best about Evolution of Combat events. You're seeing so many young talents stepping in the cage for the first time. And it goes to show how high the skill level is these days. Again, the event is called Evolution of Combat. And look at how much MMA has evolved over the last 10 years. But these fighters are making their debuts.
His opponent into the red corner, Ben Williams.
I mean, the skill level now of debuting fighters at an amateur level is so much more than it would have been 10 years ago.
Yeah, or even 5 years ago. You know, you see the skill cap constantly rising. You know, you've seen, for example, the evolution of striking fighters like Conor McGregor coming into vogue over the kind of more hard and heavy fighters like Chuck Liddell.
I agree. It's like step evolution. You know, it's like something happens where that inspires a whole generation of new fighters, up and coming fighters, and it results in the fighters being such better athletes and more skilled. And yeah, we're benefiting tonight, and we're seeing it again, as I say, debuting fighters that look off the charts.
Ben Williams is stepping in for his first fight tonight with coaches Adam Gregory and Joe Kearns in his corner. Both of his coaches scored wins on the last Evolution of Combat card. And Joe Kearns' younger brother, Jordan Kearns, will also be fighting tonight in a flyweight amateur MMA bout. Ben Williams steps into the cage. And we go over to Lance Murdoch.
Evolution of Combat presents 3 3-minute rounds of amateur mixed martial arts in the 77 kilogram weight division. Introducing first, in the blue corner, making his debut to the cage, representing Blackburn Predators, Hassan Hussain! And across the cage, in the red corner, his opponent, representing Kaizen Academy, also making his debut, Ben Williams! Neil Hall is our referee in charge of the action.
A lot of noise for the hometown fighter, Ben Williams.
Again, both fighters making a debut. We don't know much about their styles or their preferred fighting strategies. I know that Ben has a boxing background. I've been told he has powerful hands. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys can bring.
And we are off. Both fighters just ranging each other out. Ben throwing leg kicks.
Oh, lovely
and
switch
he
kick.
Switches to the high.
Goes low, switches to high. Lovely. Hassan feeding him out. Lovely movement from Hassan.
Ben is looking very quick with
Ben
those
has,
kicks.
we saw earlier, Sam Abbott. Ben has Sam Abbott-like movement in here. He gets just out of dodge, just an inch out,
and then he
darts in. These some heavy hands. Headlock takedown. Don't usually see that for that reason. The headlock takedown is susceptible to the rollover.
To get out of there. And he turns
lovely
around
scramble.
And pushes Hassan against the cage.
And then tries to get out of dodge again. Tries to get that range back. Hassan lands a nice straight there. And both fighters finding their range out at distance again. Hassan punches his way in.
Hassan managed to connect there.
Ben's pinned against the cage right now. Hassan with a foot stomp.
Now they're both pressed right above me and Neil. Foot stomps from Hassan Hussain.
Keeps him honest.
Knees to the legs.
Knees to the legs. Hassan with the underhook.
Looking to switch
Hassan's
down to
looking
that double
to grab
leg.
the hips.
Oh, he's nearly up.
Ben's got the whizzer in and the bicep tie.
But there's still definitely a danger there of Hassan switching down to the double.
Hassan
and
pushes
Hassan
off and launches a couple strikes and then dives in again looking for the
continues to pin Ben
takedown.
to the cage. Ben landing some knees.
Ben
and we have the level change from
Ben
Hassan.
needs to be pushing away. Ben sinks
and
down.
he slowly finishes the double.
Hassan gets the takedown.
Ben just trying to get right back up though.
Good job by Ben to get back to his feet. Land an inside shot.
Hassan looking for that body lock there around the waistband of Ben.
This has been an interesting fight again. It looked like Hassan felt the stand-up experience and decided to shoot in on Ben.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to close down the distance. He has no interest in standing and trading with Ben.
To be honest with you, Ben did a headlock takedown, which might have indicated to Hassan that maybe his striking is better than his grappling. And maybe that's what led to Hassan deciding to make this into a grappling contest.
Hassan looking for the double unders there. Oh. And he was
nice.
Heavy
takedown attempt. So, credit to Ben. Ben still back to his manages to get back to his feet. Still pinned against the cage though. Clearly Hassan's currently got the cage control.
And he
Hassan
drops
to
again.
his knees, trying to get under the hips. Ben's got a hold of that head. I don't think there's a guillotine attempt there for him though.
Yeah, I think Hassan's got the arm in.
Ben decided to throw some heavy shots to the rib cage of
Ben
Hassan.
off the ground.
And just after the bell there with the takedown.
And Hassan ends with a takedown.
I tell you what, both fighters breathing heavily after the bell there. That grappling was what tires people out.
Yeah, I mean, it's very common to talk about the success of wrestlers and the strategy of, takedowns, heavy ground and pound, but going for a shot, even if it's successful, takes a lot out of you. Going for repeated failed shots,
but also defending the shot as well.
Yeah,
don't forget
the shots.
What we saw there was Ben threw some lovely stand-up striking and was doing some lovely movement on his feet earlier in the round. If he's having to defend the takedown the whole time, it's going to be difficult for him. He's going to start to feel his arms fatiguing. Trying to keep hold of Hassan, trying to keep Hassan at a distance, trying to keep Hassan from his hips. It will tire Ben's arms out. But we'll have to see who's more tired coming into round two.
Neil Hall starts us off again.
Hassan did try an explosive takedown in that first round where he tried to pick up Ben's entire body for the takedown. And was not successful. Ben got straight back to his feet.
Yeah, Ben's shown some really fast scrambles. He does not want to be held down. There we go again.
Again, Ben has some excellent range and distance. He'd skip just outside of range and then dart back in.
Hassan throws the leg kick, then tries to return and misses.
Hassan with a heavy leg kick.
Oh.
Shrugs him off this time. He went for the same headlock takedown. Hassan shrugged him off, pins him against the cage.
Ben needs to get his guard back
Hassan's
in there.
got mounts. Hassan's straight to mount. Ben gets back to his feet. Ben's got the underhook this side, but he's being pinned against the cage.
And Ben managed to stand up again.
Hassan with the foot stomps.
Ben's
done a
done
fantastic
extremely
job
well in not being
managing to
held
get back.
down and managed to circle out.
Every time. I don't know what's wrong with the ref here. The ref's checking the gloves. Both fighters look. This is a grueling match. The grappling and the defender and trying to take down an opponent who's constantly jumping back to his feet. It's tiring. You see both fighters taking a moment. Ben's bringing the fire though. Ben's landing those shots heavy. Again, forcing Hassan to take the takedown.
Looking for the takedown.
Ben's got a guillotine choke. That is an attempt. He's got the high elbow. He has got that choke in. Hassan's tapping. Hassan's tapping. He's tapping. He just tapped. That was.
He needs to keep lifting.
That looked to me like a tap. He's out.
He's out.
That's it. He's out. He's carrying on, but the match is over.
And it's been called.
Ben with the win by submission. Who saw that coming? Ben, with a beautiful striking that he showed in the first round, forced Hassan to shoot him with some wrestling. Hassan kept the heavy wrestling attempts coming. Ben with the high elbow guillotine for the win.
Yeah, and we saw Hassan tap then. And unfortunately, it was just at an angle where the referee Neil Hall wasn't able to see it. And it may have been held just for a little bit long.
But I saw Hassan tap. And then I thought Hassan maybe came round and decided to keep on going, but
Yeah.
the referee didn't see the initial tap, and then Ben just kept the guillotine on tight, and he was doing the choke perfectly. He was, you saw his other far elbow come up high, which just closes the gap off, cuts the blood, cuts the circulation off, and ends up with a tap. With Hassan going unconscious.
Yeah, I mean that's always a strong risk of kind of a heavy takedown game, especially if you're not raising your head on the way in. If you're going in slowly, you're running that risk of being guillotined.
I tell you what, if you showed me that first round and you showed me the striking ability of Ben, I would not have thought he'd be winning by submission today.
Definitely not, no.
And Ben deserves full credit for being able to stay on his feet, because Hassan has beautiful takedown attempts. Those were just, it was a constant takedown attempt, one after the other. Ben every time managed to get back to his feet. It's fantastic to watch.
We go to Lance Murdoch.
A referee stopped the action at 1 minute and 23 seconds of the second round. And the winner, by way of technical decision, in the red corner, Ben Williams!
Ben Williams wins by guillotine choke.
And again, keep in mind what we said at the start of the match, before the bell rang. These were making a debut tonight. That's the quality of fighters in the UK at the moment.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at a hotbed of young talent here tonight.